Assalamualaikum to Dr. Faradina Fazal, who currently watching this video presentation. I am Nashamira binti Rahmat, 2020477382. So, for today's presentation, I will present to you about price leadership in oligopoly. What is an oligopoly? The word oligopoly is derived from two Greek words, oligi meaning few and polein meaning to sell. An oligopoly can be described based on its characteristics, which are few large firms that sell identical or differentiated products, interdependence, advertising and selling costs, lot firms to enter the market, no price competing in the market. What is price leadership? The interdependence of firms in oligopolies leave firms with two fundamental strategic choices, which are collude or compete. In oligopolistic situations, firms usually agree on a standard pricing output policy to be followed in order to alleviate the uncertainty that comes with interdependence as well as price wars and cutthroat competition. This is known as collusive oligopoly, in which firms agree not to compete with one another. The agreement may be whether formally or informally, but the formal agreement is generally illegal for firms to collude, since collusion is anti-competitive behavior, which is a violation of antitrust law. Price leadership can come into existence either through formal or informal agreement. But as the formal or open agreement is illegal, price leadership is generally established as a result of informal and tacit understanding between the oligopolies. Price leadership is widespread in the business world, in which one firm serves as a leadership role in setting its price, while other firms may follow, either raise or lower their price to match. The price leader is generally a very large or a dominant firm or a firm with the lowest cost of production. It often happens that price leadership is established as a result of price war, in which one firm emerges as the winner. Assume there are two firms A and B that produce identical products, but A with lower production cost than firms B. As a result, consumers are indifferent between these two firms due to identical products. This implies that both firms will be subjected to the same demand curve, which further represents equal market share. DD is the demand curve of both firms and MR is their marginal revenue. MCA and MCB are the marginal cost curve of firms A and B respectively. As previously stated, firm A has a lower cost of production than firm B. Thus, MCA is drawn below MCB. Let us begin our discussion of price leadership with the case of firm A. The profits of firm A will be maximized at the point MR intersects MCA. At this point, firm A will be OQ with the price level OP. On the other hand, the profits of firm B will be maximized at the point where MR intersects MCB with output OQ1 and price OP1. In this case, the price of firm B is higher than price of firm A. However, because of the products are identical, both firms must be charged the same price. So, firm A is the price leader and firm B is the follower. As a result, firm A will impose the price on firm B. Both the firms will follow the same output OQ and price OP. The profits earned by firm B are lower than firm A because it must produce at price OP, which is less than its profit maximizing price OP1. In addition, firm B also has a high production cost that leads to lower profits at price OP. What is the type of price leadership? There are three types of price leadership. The first one is dominant price leadership. In this form of leadership, the firm with the largest market share sets the price of the product or service and other smaller firms follow. It sets its price based on supply and demand market factors and also forcing small firms to hustle to match the new price. With a larger market share and the ability to survive longer than the smaller rivals, the dominant price leader can lower the price long enough for some rivals to go bankrupt. After that, they can raise the price again at their free will. In many countries, lowering price too low to damage weaker competitors is prohibited. This practice is known as predatory pricing. The second type is collusive price leadership. This type of price leadership occurs when more than one firm maintain particular pricing levels at the same time, and since these firms have a large market share, the price of the product rises or falls depending on their decisions. When prices are agreed to maintain high despite falling costs, the goal is to maximize profit. It is no longer collusive price leadership but collusion. Collusion is a type of agreement that is unlawful in most parts of the world since it ruins free competitions. These agreements are created by a few market leaders. Other small firms are obliged to follow as they cannot compete with the dominant firm. In collusive price leadership, a few firms all tacitly agree to keep their price same. The third type is barometric price leadership. One firm declares the price change first and assumes that other firms will accept it. The firm does not need to be the industry leader or to control others. This barometric group simply acts in response to changing market conditions, and other firms may decide to follow if they believe the choice is in their best interest. If a firm is a good producer and is aware of market trends, even a small market share firm can operate as a barometric price leader. The leading firms must be precise while forecasting demand and cost conditions in order for the suggested price to be accepted by other firms. Most of firms prefer barometric price leadership. In Malaysia, price leadership can exist in the airline industry. Airline industry is highly competitive, which existing airlines compete with each other as well as new players from time to time. In order to compete with their rivals in the business world, they must develop a strategy to reach their long-term goals and be successful in their operations. One of the airline firms is AirAsia. AirAsia has effectively established cost leadership through operational effectiveness and efficiency. AirAsia has launched a revolution in airline industry with its bold tagline, "Now everyone can fly." AirAsia has become Asia's first low-cost carrier to offer a ticketless service. In exchange for tickets that are lower than those offered by full-service airline Malaysia Airlines, AirAsia provides a simple, no-frills services such as free meals, frequent flyer miler, and airport lounge access. AirAsia is in a tight race with a few other airlines to become Malaysia's market leader. In the domestic market, AirAsia will have to compete with Firefly and MassWings for market share, while in the international market, AirAsia will have to compete with Malaysia Airlines. The competitiveness in airline industry is based on the expectations of a rival's price reactions as well as non-price competitions such as advertising and marketing. This can be seen when AirAsia advertised their zero-fare ticket in order to attract new consumers. To prevent losing market share, Firefly has adopted the similar strategy, and Malaysia Airlines also advertising superior flights at lower price. There are many potential advantages for firms that emerge as price leaders within an industry. Price leadership can secure a higher profit margin for the firm. Depending on what a firm intends to accomplish, price strategies can be lower or higher. If they can take the lead on a pricing plan that has a higher price point for consumers, it will allow them to increase their profit margin on the goods and services. In this case, rival firms would raise their price in order to match the price leaders' actions on similar products. Next, price leadership can reduce price wars. When one company becomes the market leader, there are likely to be fewer price wars as lesser competitors fight to protect their market position. Instead, they will modify the prices of their products and services to match the price leaders. Price leadership also can stop other firms from entering the market. If the price leader can manage pricing levels for products or services at an extreme level, either high or low, it becomes difficult for other rivals to enter the market as disruptors. That is because undercutting the leader with a comparable product or service is practically impossible. Price leadership also gives disadvantages for firms that emerge as price leaders within an industry. Price leadership requires everyone to be ready to follow the leader's position. Price leadership is only effective when everyone in the same market is willing to follow the initiating company's lead. Even if small firms decide to go against the price position, it will cause a market disruption that could threaten the leadership position's integrity. Price leadership also requires industry expertise to be effective. To make pricing shift effective, price leaders must be able to spot certain patterns inside their firm. Many other firms rely on the experience of the leading firm to make their own decision because it helps them to save money. Since they do not have to invest in resources to gain the same expertise, there is so much reliance on price leaders. If they make the wrong move, an entire industry can suddenly collapse. Price leadership can force small business into bankruptcy. Despite the fact that large firms can use price leadership to raise price, the vast majority of undeniable market leaders do the exact position. They exploit their size and scale to keep pricing low in order to eliminate the competition. Since they operate on a different economy of scale, small rivals are obliged to price their product or service so low that they cannot make a profit. Price leadership in this manner can often drive small firms into bankruptcy. As the conclusion, companies that operate in an oligopolistic environment are similarly to cats trapped in a bag. They have the option to scratching each other to death or cuddling or getting to know one another. If oligopolies compete aggressively, they may end up behaving exactly like perfect rivals, driving costs down and resulting in zero profits for all. If oligopolies work together, they can effectively behave as monopoly, driving up prices and generating steady profits. That's all from me. Thank you.